So here we are in the Manifest Destiny. I just finished the player turn order phase. Nobody used a special bonus there. And then the card play phase. Let's look. Blue. Blue opened up playing Congress to give them financial aid. That gives them 2 extra tokens above their maximum for the turn. No big deal there. And they played the Native Sovereignty card, which put all these native, yeah, there are a lot of counters on the board now. These native counters. These mean to expand into those areas, you actually have to fight as though there was someone there. That also triggered the big tobacco payout, and since they had 4 tobacco, they made $90. Now, all is not lost, though. Native Sovereignty did one more thing. People who had pairs of the control markers in the north and southwest ended up losing 5 profit for each of those pairs. Then we go to yellow, who played Teddy Roosevelt, who said, hey, let's have some national parks. And he opened them up in Texas and Colorado, which is places where yellow already is. Following that, we go to purple, who played business or pleasure and targeted telecommunications. No big advantage to this for them. Everybody went down 10. And we're seeing the profits dropping tremendously between the Indians and this this additional penalty. Red didn't play a card. They were only holding this racial unrest, which would drop other people's profit, gives them a bonus because they have 2 government cards. So they would have only lost 10, but then they saw, you know, yellow doesn't lose. I think I can improve my bonus. We'll see. Then finally to green, and green played 2. They played Babe Ruth. It'll give them a discount on sports, and it also put the last of the tourist counters in New York City. And the IRS, and they hit blue, their closest competitor cash-wise, for $20. After that $90 increase, it doesn't seem that big a thing, but they want to slow them down somewhat. Another option would have been to go for one of the people leading in victory points to cut down their lead there. Hard to decide which way to go. All right, now we go to investments. So during investments, a lot of the players filled out their first row. Blue certainly did. They spent on a Pioneer as well, I believe, and got a roll over here on electricity. They want to get that because it makes cities cheaper to build. They thought that's a cool idea. However, we'll see what, because pro sports make cities easier to attack. So yellow's next. They took a handful of pieces. They didn't have a lot of money, so they couldn't really improve their position beyond that. Likewise, purple, well, red did something similar, but purple filled out their chart. Got a couple of pieces to advance with. They picked up a Pioneer and went over into, as did yellow, motion pictures. They're actually looking at, hey, maybe we can collaborate and get that bonus together, because we're behind right now, and if we collaborate, that gives us a benefit, and we can hurt everyone else that way. Of course, television protects you from motion pictures, so it's not that big a bonus if it takes too long to get there. Because television everyone can have, as is the case today. Except for me, of course. Okay, so we go to red. Red didn't do a lot. They filled out, they already had their chart filled out, I think. They may have bought one more thing. I don't remember. Probably, I think they bought Circus, actually. Or Innovation, I'm not sure which. They did put a marker down in storytelling, or did they already have that? I think they put it down this turn. But the people who filled out have higher income, and that includes the final player, green, who got a pile of tokens, filled out and grabbed pro sports, as well as filling out with railroads. They had a lot of money to spend and a decent number of tokens. So now we go onward to the expansion phase. Nobody still has the most cities, because green bought an extra city, as did blue. Deep South, New York. Alright. I noticed, and these games are always tough for me. Civilization, Age of Renaissance, this. A couple of bonus abilities that I hadn't fired off for this turn. I don't know if I forgot before. But for example, Turnpike, red got an extra token for that. Green's Mechanization, that allowed them to buy that city for one less than they did. So, they got a point back for that. They didn't want the card. Actually, what they should do, hold on. I think what I should have done was buy, I don't even know if I rolled for them. Yeah, I don't think I did. So I'm going to play 2 tokens and take a Pioneer, because they went last, and I'm pretty sure they didn't roll at all. They feel like they're very far in the lead. They don't want to challenge with anyone else, particularly. I think they're going to go with electricity along with blue, actually, see if they can get a unity. So I got a pair of 1s, but I have innovation. I can re-roll one of these. I get a pick. So I'm going to take 1 and 3. And that seems like a good buy. This way they paid their 2 for the city, but they only had to pay 1 for the Pioneer, which is their cool advantage. Alright, so that'll be it. Okay, so the expansion attempts, let's go through them pretty quick. Blue did expansions into Idaho and Utah. That's 2 positive for them, but they lost 1 here in the Heartland, so they only go up 1. Yellow expanded Washington, British Columbia, Alberta. That's 3 positive, so no profit increases. Purple went into Florida. That's 1. Is that it? Looks like it. Yeah. Red made a lot of expansion here. 1, 2, 3 into Central America, 4 into the Yucatan. And last but not least, or maybe least, Green only expanded once into the Heartland. They made an attack on Virginia, but even though they only had to use 2 tokens to go in there, they still lost, they still faced 2 dice against them. So they go up 1, they didn't expand very well. Now, let's look at this thing, this purple one. What's special about that? They had, in order to get there, purple didn't connect there. They can do it because they have railroads. They don't have to trace in order to build something there, which is kind of weird feeling, but not really, because this isn't a game that's like about military cohesiveness or anything. All right. Who got the most? Red got the most. I don't remember how many, but they certainly did. So they get a bonus card. And now everybody is going to get their cash and new cards. Okay, so we set up the player order, and nobody spent a chip again. And we played the cards. We're going to be in the investment phase, but let me go over the quick card plays. Yellow started off with Thomas Edison, giving them a bonus on telephone, and gave them 2 markers on electricity. Now, interestingly enough, this is worded as either or, so that's clearly exclusive. So I'm going to take the other one as being inclusive was the correct choice. On to blue. Yes. Blue removed a green chip off electricity. thereby reducing their breakthrough. And it'll go over. Oh, I gotta keep these so that I remember turn order. And then they played this card, but not as the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal is not going to happen. Instead, they played it as a livestock bonus. They got $10. Most other people got $5. Not a lot of money there, but you know, they did not want the Panama Canal because they have a presence on both coasts and they don't need it. Next, green. Green played the Civil War, and instead of targeting blue more, they feel like they're kind of even with blue. Red's ahead in victory points. Wasn't doing too badly. Cost them $20 out of pocket. Their profit went down, and they cannot buy City Pioneer or a card using this. I'm going to leave this here because I'm going to put that card over on red when I'm done with these. Purple. Purple played a trading post, which gives them an advantage on the offense. We've seen this before. They didn't want the textiles. They weren't going to make much off of it. They think they can expand better, and they have a lot of tokens that they can buy. So we may see the good old purple Pennsylvanians returning to their homeland that they've been driven out of. They can show up there at any time, and they have a combat advantage there. Oh, marketing advantage. In addition to whatever they get off their trading post. Okay, and then finally red. Poor red. Well, since there's a civil war, there's also going to be racial unrest. They had been holding on to this in hopes of getting either tolerance or safety net. They didn't get it. They're seeing other people picked up the extra red. They wish they'd played it last turn. At least in this case, they're hitting green a little harder than anyone else. Everybody basically went down 10 in their profit, except green that went down 20. Ties things up. Poor yellow is getting down near the dredges again. And I guess we're ready to start the turn. I've got to set up the turn order based on the cards, the turn order picks for next turn. Okay, so let's look at how the card plays went. Not the card play, but the strategy, the investment phase went. Yellow opened things up. They used their Pioneer. They bought a new one using Edison, picked up the telephone, and they ended up grabbing a unity control of electricity with an agreement with the blue player. Now, the blue player is doing very well. Green was very unhappy about this because they were also somewhat invested there and would have tried to cut a deal to make sure that blue wouldn't get it, but they would invest in it and try to go with them. But yellow sees, hey, blue goes first. I'm not going to get another option. Let's just do this, get it set on my turn so that I can take the bonus, which was a free city, which they put in Texas, and, work on my own goods. The bonus for that, for the blue player, was they could also pay $15 to the yellow player, which they did in order to get telephone. They did that. They popped an extra city into, all the way over here in Oregon, which is important because then they can use the airplanes to go to Asia and Australia. All right, after blue, green came, and they each got 2 victory points off that. It's level 2 of the breakthroughs. The green player kind of grumping about this. Decent number of tokens, though. What did they go ahead with? I don't think they bought any innovations. They ended up rolling for motion pictures, and they're hoping to use pro sports in order to try to expand. They ended up buying a city and getting a Pioneer for only 1 using their ability. The city was New York. Oh no, they had New York already. They built it up in New England, I think. Which may not be one of the best places in the world, but at this point, they don't have many great places, and they want the bonuses of having cities. That way, neither blue nor they has the most cities still. All right, on to purple. What did purple do? Purple, I think, bought Unity. No, green must have bought Unity. They were the one behind. I don't think Purple bought an ability. They bought a lot of tokens. They're planning on using their competition advantage there. They grabbed an extra card for themselves. Got a Destiny card, which looks very potent. And then we go to Red. Red's got this Civil War that affected them, but that's gone. And now they had to buy a lot of tokens. They couldn't use them for anything over here. They tried to get their storytelling. They didn't get that. Mainly, they're going to just try to expand however they can. They get a free token for patriotism. Alright, on to the actual expansion phase now. And here we enter the adjustments phase. A lot has happened here. A lot of people went War Bunny. Red ends up sweeping through and grabbing the most things. So they're going to get an extra card. Ooh, they get to suffer. That's a cool card. And we had a massive purple with their trading post advantage. And that's the end of that. Ended up going after ore everywhere they could and grabbed up a lot of it, but then lost some, at least one to Red, on Red's strange sweep through the southern U.S., which is because they had Yankee Ingenuity, which they wanted to be in the U.S., and Reconstruction, which gives them a bonus to their profit for being in the South, in the Deep South. Okay. So let's count the point. Let's count the profits and see who ends up where. Okay. So we'll start off with the yellow player. Now the yellow player doesn't look like they gained anything. They made some attacks, but they lost 2. That can only put them back to 20. They can't go any further back than that. I think they may have. No, that was already there. Not good for them. Okay. Blue. Blue took a lot of losses in their homeland even, where green swept in. We see purple went and took their place back. So blue is up 1. 2, they took this from the Canadians. But they're down 4, so they go down 2. Green is next. Green made some gains as well. They went up 1, 2, grabbing the valuable tobacco, making expensive attacks, but the pro sports helped them to reduce the attack cost there. So they're up 2 right now, but they lost 2, so they break even. To purple. Purple went up 1, 2, 3, 4. They needed Colorado in order to get down to Arizona. They attacked Nevada too. So that was 4. They lost 3. So they only go up 1. And finally red, who went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which got them their card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're up to a huge profit already, and the cards in their hand are going to increase their profit. All right. Victory points. Green managed to grab and it's already recorded, the 2 points for most cities by taking Virginia and then Carolina as well, but they only needed 1 of them. All right. We see some of the natives were destroyed out here in the west. A couple of them down there. And I'm going to wrap this one and send it up. People are going to get their cards and their money, but that's not too exciting to watch.